Let me ask you, have you ever reached that point in a relationship where you realize you're worth more than the emotional chaos you've been living? Have you ever had the strength to walk away? Out of anger but out of wisdom. Believe me, when a woman finally grasps that she has lost you, it hits her like a cold, brutal wave. But here's the thing, this is when you as a high-value truly reveal the power of emotional control. The Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught us one undeniable truth. Emotional detachment is not weakness, it's strength, and when a woman realizes you're no longer emotionally available, that's when the real battle begins. She will feel the shock of losing you, but it's more than that, it's the realization that she's lost someone who doesn't need her to feel complete. The Stoics understood this principle. When you are self-sufficient, unwavering in your principles, and at peace with yourself, you become irresistible. Let's dive deep into her psyche and uncover the raw truths behind the emotional journey she faces when she realizes she's lost a high-value like you. The first shock. This isn't just a fleeting emotion. This is a tidal wave of realization that sweeps over her, one that she can't ignore. Imagine this. You've been a consistent presence in her life. A man who didn't chase her, but instead lived with purpose. You didn't beg for attention or validation. And when you walked away, something deep within her stirred. It's at this moment when she realizes you're no longer emotionally available or eager to please that the shock sets in. You see, women are biologically wired to crave security. But not just any security. A deep emotional one. They want a man who is unwavering, steady, and strong in his own principles. When you detach, when you stop seeking her approval, it creates an emotional void that she can't fill. You've taken your emotional value off the table, and she now has to confront the harsh reality that you were never as easily replaceable as she thought. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, understood the concept of emotional control better than anyone. He wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." This is exactly what you're doing when you maintain emotional composure and detach with dignity. It's not about getting revenge on her. It's about demonstrating that your emotions and worth are not dictated by her actions or presence. Like the Stoics, you choose to remain unwavering, unmoved by external circumstances. When you step back emotionally, you show her that you do not live in reaction to her behavior. You are not her puppet, and that's a powerful realization for any woman. She'll feel that shift, that absence, because you're not playing her game anymore. The shock isn't just her missing you. It's her realizing that you are the man who has the inner strength to walk away, to not be controlled by fleeting emotions or moments. You hold the power, believe me. That realization stinks regret and introspectio. She begins to ask herself, why didn't I realize this sooner? The truth is, women are wired to constantly assess their surroundings, and when something valuable is taken away from them, their minds go into overdrive. It's like a switch flips, and now she's analyzing every decision she made, every word she said, and every action she took in the relationship. The Stoics understood this perfectly. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When a woman loses you, her thoughts turn inward. She begins to reflect on how she treated you, why she may have taken you for granted, or why she couldn't see your value before. This introspection can sometimes last for weeks, even months. Here's the hard truth. Warrior women like challenges. When you become distant, when you no longer chase her, the emotional equation flips. She starts wondering, was I too cold? Did I make him feel unimportant? She'll search for the answer, digging into her own actions to find that one moment when she lost you. Her pride may stand in the way of admitting it, but deep down the regret starts to settle. Don't be fooled into thinking that all women are immune to this. Self-reflection, even the most independent, high-value woman will at some point question her actions, and wonder what went wrong. But here's the thing. It's not about making her feel sorry for what she did. It's about her coming to terms with the fact that the Ma, who once was by her side, has now elevated himself beyond her reach. She begins to feel the weight of her mistakes, and it forces her to reconsider everything she thought she knew about relationships, yearning to reconnect. When a woman realizes she's lost you, the next emotional wave she'll experience is the overwhelming desire to reconnect. But this isn't just any desire. It's a yearning, a deep visceral need to pull you back into her life. This is where things get interesting. Warrior women are creatures of emotio, and when they realize they've lost someone valuable, they want to rebuild the connectio. She'll start by testing the waters, reaching out with casual texts, hints, or even trying to initiate conversations that seem harmless. But don't be fooled, warrior. This is not about curiosity. It's a calculated move rooted in the biology of attractio. Women instinctively try to reassert control when they feel that their position has been threatened. When you remain unmoved by her attempts, this only fuels her desire to prove that she can get you back. Here's the thing. This yearning is a manifestation of her desire to feel that emotional security. Once more, you, as a high-value man, must understand that when you remain composed and uninterested in reconnecting on her terms, it becomes even more powerful. You are no longer the man she can take for granted, the one who will jump at her every whim. Your emotional unavailability turns into your greatest weapon. But remember this, it's not about playing games. It's about recognizing your own worth and never settling for someone who doesn't respect it. And here's another point to reflect on. Women will often mistake their emotional yearning for desire to reconnect. But what they're really yearning for is the feeling of control, the feeling that they can influence you once a guy. This is why you must never fold under pressure. You see, warrior, when you choose to move forward with dignity and emotional control, you are teaching her one of the most powerful lessons she could ever learn. That her actions and words have consequences. Persistent memories, warrior. When she loses you, it's not just your absence that haunts her. It's the memories of everything you once shared. These memories are like sharp echoes, constantly reverberating through her mind, reminding her of what she had and lost. At first, these memories may come in fleeting moments, passing thoughts as she walks down the street, or when she hears a song that reminds her of you. But as time wears on, those memories don't fade. They grow stronger. Think of them as an emotional tether, something she cannot easily sever. It's not simply nostalgia. It's the pain of realizing that what she thought was forever has slipped through her fingers. Believe me, warrior, it's a harsh reality, just like Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, advised us. Be indifferent to the things that are not within your power. Those memories become her burden to bear. At first, she may try to push them away, telling herself that she's moving on. But the human mind doesn't work like that. The past lingers, especially when it's tied to someone significant. These persistent memories become ghosts that occupy her thoughts, reminding her of the time you spent together, the way you made her feel, and the certainty you once had in your connectio. But the real tragedy here is that she can't recreate what you were. No matter how many times she replaced those memories, the emotional connectio, the dynamic you shared, is irretrievable. That's why the memories start to sting even more. They remind her of her own vulnerability, the impermanence of everything she once held dear. And this, warrior, is where your strength comes into play. You've learned that the past is a teacher, a place to live. You understand that your worth doesn't rest in what you've lost, but in how you rise and continue forward. When she's trapped in her own cycle of recollectio, you remain firmly planted in the present, focused on your own growth and purpose. Your path is unwavering, while she, consumed by persistent memories, may remain shackled to what once was, pondering what ifs, warrior. When the dust settles and the harsh realities of loss start to sink in, there's a deep, psychological shift that takes place in her mind. She begins to ask herself the question that has plagued many: what if I had done things differently? This internal dialogue is where the true emotional weight hits. What if she had been more patient? What if she had listened more attentively? What if she hadn't let her own insecurities push you away? These what ifs are like mental traps that keep her cycling through past mistakes, causing her to be stuck in a loop of self-blame and regret. And while these what ifs may seem like innocent musings, they are far more dangerous than they appear. They can distort her perception of reality, making her believe she can rewrite history, that she can somehow fix the past. But the truth is, just as Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The what-ifs are nothing more than imagined scenarios, empty of any true substance. They lead nowhere, they hold no power, except the power to prevent her from moving from truly growing. You've seen it before. When men dwell on what could have been, it hinders their progress. The same applies here. Those who remain stuck in the what-ifs are the ones who fail to live fully in the present, who fail to see the opportunities before them. And this, warrior, is precisely where your Stoic strength comes into play. You do not dwell in the past. You do not linger in hypothetical situations. You know that the past is gone, and you embrace what lies ahead. You've learned that the only moment that matters is the one you are. While she gets lost in the illusion of what-ifs, you move forward with purpose, living in alignment with your values and the wisdom of the Stoics, acknowledging your uniqueness. As the emotional fog begins to clear, she reaches the final stage of realizatio, understanding that you are unique, irreplaceable. Warrior, understand this. When you are a high-value when you have built yourself through discipline, wisdom, and emotional intelligence, your absence is not something easily filled. When she comes to this realizatio, it's not just about missing you on a superficial level. It's about recognizing that the connection she had with you was unlike any other. There is no other who can offer the same depth of understanding, the same emotional stability, or the same presence that you brought to the table. This is what makes you different from every other she's known. And when she finally acknowledges this, she has no choice but to come to terms with the fact that she lost something extraordinary. But this isn't just about her. This is about you as well. Your uniqueness lies in the fact that you have mastered the art of living according to your own principles. You are not swayed by fleeting emotions or temporary desires. You stand firm, just as the Stoic philosophers did. Think of Alexander the Great, who understood his own worth in ways that others could only admire. From afar, he didn't settle for mediocrity. And neither do you live according to your own code, a code that doesn't bend to the whims of others. And that, warrior, is the ultimate recognitio. When she understands this truth, she may try to win you back, but remember, your uniqueness is not something to be bargained for. You are the prize, and she must learn, just as you have, to live with the consequences of her actions. Just as Marcus Aurelius advised, don't waste time on what you can't control. You cannot control her realization of your value, but you can control your actions, and your actions speak louder than any words or regrets. Warrior, let me leave you with this powerful thought. When a woman realizes she has lost you, it's not just about her feelings of shock or regret. It's a reflection of the man you have become. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, who led an empire with clarity and emotional composure, knew the true power comes from within. They didn't chase external validation, or did they fall victim to the fleeting emotions of the moment. They lived with purpose, controlled by their own principles, out by the world around them. And that, my warrior, is exactly what you are doing. When you walk away with emotional control, you don't need to chase her, beg her, or prove anything. You have mastered your emotions, and that's why she feels the lost so deeply. As you continue on your journey of personal growth, remember this: Your value is not determined by someone else's perception of you. The Stoics knew this well. They taught us that true strength lies in detachment, in knowing that you are enough just as you are. So warrior, if you're ready to embody the Stoic mindset, to remain emotionally unshaken and steadfast in your purpose, then leave a comment saying, "Challenge accepted, let's continue to grow." To become the men who live with unwavering strength and purpose, and for more wisdom like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because the path to wisdom is just getting started.